as I am about to prepare for the topic segment for today, which is about me, my friend Dallas, who's our guest for tonight, and our experiences with moving out, living alone. Why did we move out? How is it like living alone? Did I learn a lot living alone? Did I learn a lot about moving out and having these new experiences and much more? And also for Dallas, did he learn a lot too? So yeah, I guess we can just get this show on the motherfucking road. And unless anyone got anything to share before I start, because I know. Hold on, I'm just getting my notes. Unless anybody got anything to share before I start calling Dallas. I'm gonna call him now so I can get this prepared. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hope he picks. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I do need to drink water. Hold on. I also need to eat. I'm very fucking hungry. And oh yeah, also another new update too. Oh, not the thing saying that. Another update too is that I plan to stream one more time for the week or for the per week. I think it's gonna just be, I don't know if I don't know, I have to get a sense. Like, I want it to be more casual rather than having a podcast episode. So it's going to be either me playing video games, playing horror games, just chatting in general about life and having fun, just more chillax, casual conversation. Obviously, Dallas has not picked up. I hate this motherfucker. Bitch was like, I'm prepared to be in this podcast. I'm so excited. I'll be there at 8. Motherfucker is playing Apex Legends and it's 8:15. I hate his ugly ass. Hold on. You are such a poopy head. You better pick up. You better pick up, I swear. Oh god, I can't type. I guess I'll tell you more updates about the podcast or where I'm going with this stream. Podcast is gonna still be the same with Tuesdays 8 p.m. Eastern time, but we're gonna try to fit in a normal, not normal, that's gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna have a consistent schedule for the second segment, but I'll figure it out. I'm gonna figure out more ideas in terms of what I want to do with this stream, but I also plan, come on, Kior, it's Classic Dallas coming up late. He ain't coming through. You son of a bitch. But we're planning to do merch. But merch is a long-term or a long-away idea that I have. But it's now the podcast. Once the podcast has foundation, the idea and content is continually growing. Where are you, Dallas? What? He's saying I'm here. But we're gonna be continuing to create more content with the podcast. Once content and foundation is being built and we're having this growth, the next step is to build a... Oh!
Hello?
Oh my god, why did you fucking whisper in my ear? Jesus Christ.
Because I'm a very sensual individual, obviously. Keep that vomit in your mouth, young lady.
Ew! Okay, wait. So you're on stream, by the
Hello.
way. Hold on. I will be introducing you in a second. But hold on.
Yes.
Where the fuck? Is this the one? No, it's not the one. This is the one. Okay. Hold on. I'm figuring this out. I thought I had this under control. How are you doing, though?
Oh, I'm out here vibing.
You're vibing.
That's what I do best.
You know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna give up and just keep it at my face because my face is perfectly fine. Okay. Hi guys, can we give a round of applause to Dallas coming through for the podcast for today?
Yay!
Clap, 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 clap,
I'm
clap.
sorry. I was late. I was walking my dog.
Richard said you were playing Apex Legends. What are you talking about?
No, I ran it so the update would go through, so I wouldn't have to sit there
Oh,
and do it later.
got it. Okay. Yeah, people are like, or keywords is like, nice job, nice try. By the way, if you have chat open, feel free to have chat open, Dallas. But
Of course.
welcome. This is Dallas, one of my good old friends that I've been friends with for what,
Oh my
20
God.
fucking 18?
Yeah, it sounded like that. It's been a minute.
Something like that. God fuck, we're old.
Yeah, I feel really old.
So like, do you have anything you want to introduce yourself, Dallas?
Um, I guess. Oof, wow. Not really. I mean, I'm just a dude. I'm a guy. I'm here. I'm obviously cool enough to be friends with Ria, so that's really all that's important, you know.
Wow, I feel cool that you said that. I guess I'm cool. Thanks.
I mean, you don't hang out with lame people, so.
So Keyords, am I supposed to see him? No. I'm supposed to. I thought I had the screen share open, but apparently it's not open. But it's okay. I'll probably. I'll put a. I'll probably put a picture of like something. I'll put a stick figure. Um, but
You can use my character if you want.
let me see.
I have a little guy.
Yes, please. Actually, can you send me a picture?
Yeah, I have to
I thought
find
you meant
him.
your profile picture on Discord, and I was like, I don't know if I'm.
No, not the boobies.
Not the not the boobies.
Here I posted it in our messages.
Thank you. Oh my god. Wait, that's so cute. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see this. We shall put this. Sorry guys, this is very scrappy, but you know what? We're all about scrappiness.
Yeah, that's my fault. I literally forgot to set. Normally I'll set like a reminder, and then I just didn't fucking do that.
No,
So
you're honestly fine. Don't worry. I'm still trying to figure out this podcast stuff as we go, but you're all good. I meant to set up the, when people talk, and
yeah,
it's like black if you don't talk, but if you do talk, it like jumps and is colored on stream. Like I don't know if
yeah.
you've seen that overlay, but it's a cute one. But I'll know better for next time. Okay, we have our little icon of Dallas here in conversation. Oh God, but I'm gonna just put you here at this little corner, but with our special guest with Dallas, and I will do editing later. But today, like I said earlier, that we're gonna talk about moving out, living alone. Why did we move out? Why did we take the risk? And just talking about your story, my story, of just the process of moving out, why we made those decisions, and
Yeah.
much more. And I'll let you take the cake for that. And hey, tell me your current situation. Why did you move out? What's going on? What was the thought process behind it? And much more.
Yeah, all right. So jumping way back to when I was but a wee lad at 17. Not to make the entire podcast just, my maternal issues. um but I just didn't like living with my mom. We're too much alike, so we just butted heads all the time, and I didn't like it. And so I was like, you know what? Can't really be too mad because like it's literally her house that I'm in right now, So if there's really nothing I can do or say to override that. So I started looking for places, and I got my own place I was working 3 jobs, but yeah, I got my own place.
So you got your own place, but how did you manage to get your own place?
So just budgeting. I mean, it was a little. It wasn't paycheck to paycheck, but it was almost as close to paycheck as you can get. Like I said, I was working 3 jobs, so I was working Yasi, get help me out with working at McDonald's. So I was working there. Then I had a job at the GameStop that opened up in the hometown, and then I was also working as a teller at Valley National. So all 3 of those, helped me out with getting a small 1 bedroom. Now, granted, you could get shot on the street that I live next to, but those are just the risks that you run. They're
Right.
just the things that you
Wait, so did
that you
you
deal with.
did you move out of state or out of town?
No, I moved within town. I liked the town. I just didn't want to live with my mom anymore. That was the biggest no for me. So I was fine living anywhere as long as it wasn't like with her. Um, so that's kind of what brought that up, or what made me do that.
So with that, like I know you actually moved out of state. How is that process like too, and that story behind that?
So moving out of state wasn't necessarily difficult, only because I joined the army. So I went to I guess just a little more of Dallas, it's premium Dallas lore that you're getting into right
Yes, yes,
now.
yes.
I wanted to go to I didn't so I tried going to college and it wasn't for me. I got really depressed. I wasn't myself anymore and I just didn't want to do it anymore. So I
Like living
dropped out.
like living in your previous state. Like
Yeah, living in New Jersey.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't want to. I didn't want to go to college anymore. I was tired of it, so I dropped out, and that's when the 3 jobs came into play because I was working too, and then I was like, well, if I'm gonna have all the, I had a lot of free time because unfortunately it was all just part time. Um, and then I said, all right, fuck this. Went to college, didn't like it, and then I went to technical school, got my IT cert, and then I worked at a school district, making some really good money. I was making like when I first started there, I was making $65,000 a year, so that was really awesome.
mm-hmm.
Um, and then I wanted more, so and I knew college is really expensive, and I really didn't want to pay for. I don't want to pay out of pocket for something that I might drop.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, this is a really good way to get free college. So I just lost my mind. I joined the army, um, and I was making some really good money outside of the army. Inside the army, I was actually making less, but they pay for my housing and they pay for a lot of stuff. So it's kind of like you pick and choose your battle.
Right.
Um, so yeah, that's it. The army really made that process like way easier. I know for you, moving for work reasons, because the army moved me. But I know you have probably had it way more difficult when you tell your side of the story because you actually had to move as a civilian,
So
all your stuff. It was just you responsible for getting all your shit from one place to the other.
right, you had assistance, right, from the army.
Yeah, the army. Yeah, I mean it's shitty assistance, but it is assistance. Like they'll help you move all your stuff. So and you can also just straight up opt to move your stuff yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
but yeah, so I joined the army, and that put me in North Carolina just because the army kind of puts you where it wants you. I'm trying to go overseas right now, see if I can get stationed in like Germany or Japan. But if
mm.
not, I'm probably gonna get out, and then I might move. I might move to Texas, honestly.
Oh wow. Tom.
Yeah, really good IT scene down there, and just some better cost of living.
Mm. Oh my god, Tank is on. Tank is on the
Yes,
stream.
yes, yeah. Wow, first time chat. Look at him. What a
Wow.
poser.
Yeah, actually, what a poser. We actually.
He hasn't supported you.
He has not supported me. We hate you, Tank. What the heck? But for me, I moved out at a younger age before. But in terms of like moving out of state from Jersey,
Hmm.
wild, crazy. Um, the only kind of assistance that I had was my ex at the time. who helped
Mhm.
me with everything, but overall it was just like just me and him moving all my bullshit from
Yeah.
Jersey to my new state now. Um, but for me, I moved out before at a younger age. I would say in the teens and stuff. Sorry, there's a little fruit fly in front of my face. Fuck. Um, but I moved around like my teens. I moved out of my teens because like the same situation like you said. I hated living in the situation that I was in with my mom.
Yeah.
I hated the restrictions that I went through and all the things that I've been through in the past with her. I won't go into fucking detail. But there was that situation that I could not stand living with her at all. Um, so I moved out in my teens. Hi, Lulu. Long time no see. I moved out in my teens, moved out of the house, lived with my sister, and
Mhm.
pretty much grew up doing my college thing. Finally
Yeah.
graduated, so I had to get a job
You were
because
grinding dumb hard when I first met you.
yo, we don't
Like, holy crap, dude.
we don't talk about Grindy Rhea. We
Grindy Rhea was a mess.
Grindy Rhea was a monster. She was scary.
Yeah, no, honestly, like I envied your ambition because I could not do half of the shit that you were so involved in your own future. It was crazy. Like,
It had like once again knowing now and how I see things, it had its good stuff. You know, I was looking out for my future, but it had its negatives, and I talked about it.
yeah, your mental health and stuff.
And I talked about it in my previous podcast episode of just like, fuck, what the fuck, like, man, I didn't care about the actual quality of my life and quality of my mental state, friends and shit like that. It sucked.
Yeah, your social life.
Yeah, it was. I prioritized. Like, I had a good social life, but social life was based off of connections, business
Yeah.
relationships, giving advice about business. Bleh. Like, I was trying to make myself, once again, that personality of business Rhea CEO type vibes. But that
Yeah.
wasn't the ambition. That was, once again, family's ambitions for me. So,
Yeah.
being here in my new state, holy shit, a lot of things have changed, and we'll explore it a little bit more as we transition from talking about moving out and then living alone and how that experience is like. Um, but when I moved out, the reason why I moved out of state was because of work related reasons. I had my first time corporate job, full time job, secure job, and that required me to move to my state. And now I'm out here living here. The moving process was pain in the ass. Like, had to drive from Jersey to my new state, 8 hour
Yeah.
drive. And I only had my ex, and then my mom somewhat helped with that, moving my stuff. But overall, I just did the driving. I did the manual labor of doing it, and it was like,
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
that driving is not fucking
it was not
easy.
fun, but whatever. We did it, and I'm happy I did it because look at me now, developed as a person I am today. Like shit.
Yeah.
Um, but what made you want to go into the army? Because that sounds like such a big fucking change.
It really is. Like I said, it was mainly just for like as shitty as the army is, it definitely the one thing that I will give it is it 100% helps you kickstart. If you're stuck, like I started to get really complacent where I was, simply because I couldn't. Like I said, school's really expensive. I only had my freaking certificate, so I didn't actually have like schooling that certain businesses would like you to have for IT. Um, and because of that, I was like, what am I gonna do? I really, like I said, I really don't want to pay for this, especially if I'm gonna hate every second of it. So I just looked deeper into how the army works and how it operates. Um, and I just when I found out more about you know, just the schooling aspect of things, I kind of just gave it a shot. So
Mhm. Nice. And I also had that. I also had that same experience too. I joined our Army ROTC because
yeah,
the intention was to get that free tuition and get college paid for. But bitch, I did not have the fucking guts to continue. I really didn't. I was like, bro,
everybody listening to this podcast right now, heed my words. Wait for the Air Force to call you back.
I
Cause oh my
shouldn't.
god,
I should have joined the motherfucking Air Force ROTC,
yes,
or I should have joined Air Force. I don't know what I was thinking with joining Army. Ew! Why did I join Army?
yeah,
Ugh.
no, oh my god,
I I don't know what was going in my mind, but I joined Army. Of course, the Army is the hardest one out of all the.
the Marines.
You think the Marines is the hardest one?
I know the Marines is the hardest one.
Okay, well, yeah, you do have. you have the experience.
And like Giovanni just said, yeah, the Army provides a very excellent reset button for your life. So if you ever feel like you don't know what to do, or you're trapped, or you just don't know where to go, and you know you wish you could start all over again, well, the Army's really good at doing that for you.
So, what would you say are some of the key lessons that you learned from being in the Army for so long? And Tank, you're also included in this conversation. So, tell me.
What are some of the key lessons you said?
Yeah, like, what did you learn about yourself just being part of the Army?
I would have to say that the biggest one is that I hate the Army. I don't know. I don't want to say I had a pretty good foundation of understanding of self before I joined. So when I did join, all it did was reinforce the things that I already knew. I'm pretty competent when it comes to like just work ethic and having a work ethic. I'm pretty competent when it comes to you know seeing that a job needs to get done and then doing it. So stuff like that, the Army is great with. I hate a lot of the kid. So like the biggest thing for me, so when you join the Army, especially as a you know, especially as I joined late. I joined as an old ass man. So when you join, it's a lot of kids right out of high school. So if you don't, you know, if you're not ready for that, and then you have all these kids who don't know what the heck they're doing, it's gonna be really really frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So that was I would have to say the biggest obstacle, just patience, just learning to deal with kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
And, like, I know you said, hey, I'm doing the Army so that I can have these benefits and such. But
yeah,
didn't the thought of going to the Army scare you? Or intimidate you?
it did. I didn't, you know, nobody. I didn't want to, you know, get shot at or go to war or whatever. But I guess I also just decided. I don't know. I literally just YOLO'd it. Like I was like, whatever happens, happens. I was ready for it. I was ready for whatever consequences would come of joining. So I will say, like, you know, the Army, it has a bunch of good opportunities. The Army does have, you know, this and that for restarting your life, but you know, it's still like it's an army. Like you are actively training to kill people. So if you can't deal with that, then don't join the Army.
Right. Damn.
So
Because, once again, just the idea from going from civilian life to Army just is wild to me. And
it definitely is,
and I'm just like,
crazy, as the kids would say.
And I was just like, dude, he really took a fucking risk with this shit. And
Yeah,
you said balls deep, let's do it. So why take risks then?
So when I was so I love the school district. I'm gonna just, you know, put that out there. School district was great.
Mm-hmm.
But I started to stagnate pretty hard in terms of my own, just I guess my own career.
Mhm.
Just my skill set, I was doing the same thing every day, day in, day out, which was fine because it made my life really easy when it came to work. But I wasn't really growing anymore, and because of that, I just fell into a depression.
Mhm.
Um, and so if you don't take the initiative to dig yourself out of that, it can it can manifest itself in some really nasty ways. And for me, it started to really mess with some of my relationships with just my friends and some of my loved ones, because I was more irritable, I was more distant, because I
Mhm.
wasn't allowing myself to I wasn't allowing myself to feel everything that I needed to go through, or everything that I needed to grow.
Mhm.
So if you don't take any risks and you just kind of you only live in your comfort zone, you won't. That's what causes you to grow as a person.
Mhm.
Those things, those scenarios. A lot of people like to do hypotheticals. Oh, what would you do if what would you do with this? What would you do with that? But when you're actually in those scenarios, and it's time for you to for real make those decisions. And you can't, because you've never actually put yourself in that situation before. Then you're not gonna actually find out what you're capable of.
Right. And I 100% agree with you. Even in college or even outside of college, in college, hustle Ria, right?
Yeah.
I took in internships not giving a fuck about the location. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna figure out the location later. Like it matters to me that I know this role will make me a better person or more experienced and much more. So, even though a lot of my parents um a lot of or not my parents, I meant to say my family, even though they're like, that's not safe, you're being too ambitious, you're being too risky, I said, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I just know that it's gonna be good for me. It's a good experience for me to do, and I'm just gonna take the risk, even though my safety might be, um, you know, my safety might be like at risk, sure, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, first off, I gotta learn how to live on my own, right? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is how you live here in the world, and I just gotta manage through. And sorry, I can't be babied, but I gotta do that risk. So I did my internships in these major cities, and will be far away from home, but like you said, taking scary decisions, getting out of your comfort zone is what is more important to me and you, to become a better person and to
Yeah.
have more wisdom and to be more confident and to whatever you need to do for yourself, right?
And
So,
obviously, like, risk within reason. Like,
yes.
I mean, I'm one to talk because I fucking literally joined the goddamn army.
Mhm.
But don't, I had a backup plan. If I didn't make it, so it's not like I was just joining super blindly. So take something that makes your tummy feel nervous, but don't just do something stupid. Just for the sake of doing something stupid.
Yes, agreed. Everything within reason and actually making good decisions for the benefit of yourself. Yes. We support that. We support that.
Yeah.
Um so you move out, right? How
Hmm.
was how was living alone? Well, I don't think you did have that chance to live alone because you were living or you were doing army stuff. But was there a point of time you lived alone?
Um, the closest I got to living alone was there was a brief period of time that when I like so after you go to also, I'm just touching out what Tank said in his thing.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
the army definitely helps you identify who can and cannot be mature for their age. And it also is just a really good chance to just meet new people you would have never met. Like, I would have never met Tank if I hadn't joined the army, and Tank's now one of my best friends, so that
Mm-hmm.
was also awesome. But living alone, there was a brief period of time where I lived alone after AIT, the school that you go to get to learn how to do your job.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, no, I've always had like a roommate or somebody that I had to live with
Right.
to a degree.
Right. And by the way, I'm just reading Tank's comment of like, I would say I've always been mature for my age, but the army definitely gave me that reality check, and it gave me the opportunity to meet a few people that I'll never forget and call my boys like Dallas.
Hey, baby.
Hey,
Let's go.
baby. That's
But I would say as far as like because there's living alone, which is fine.
Mhm.
But I would say just being self-sufficient, self-sustaining, even if you have to live with a roommate or even if you have to live, because
Mhm.
living completely alone, like living by yourself, is more of a it's definitely more of a luxury, especially nowadays with how the cost of living and like what's it called, how jobs aren't exactly paying super duper fair wages and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So living alone is definitely a luxury, like being able to live completely by yourself.
Mhm.
Um, so I would say don't feel bad if you can't live alone. Just focus on the fact that you're now a self-sustaining part of society. You're not relying on your parents.
That's
Not
very
that that's a
true.
bad thing. 100% rely on your parents for like if you have a good relationship with your parents, fucking live with them for as long as you can because holy shit, rent sucks. So if you can live with your parents within reason, help them out with food or whatever, so you're not just completely mooching off your parents. But living alone is a luxury not a whole bunch of people can afford. But when you finally do, or if you do manage to move in with a significant other, it can feel really good to have a place that's just yours, walk around ass naked, not have to worry about nothing.
Yeah, living alone is great. I love it. I love it so much. Um, but there's gonna be a point within. I'm gonna be moving out of my apartment in 2 months or so. I had to live by my means. It's more realistic to live
Yeah,
by your means because like you said, living alone is a luxury. But I have many years to come to live alone again. But at the
yeah,
current moment, I love living alone. I love having my own place to say that it's mine. I paid for my shit. I paid for all the things in this apartment. It feels nice to have ownership of all the things
yeah,
that I worked hard for. It's great. It's awesome. Um, it, but bruh, sometimes chores get me annoyed, but I also love it because I know I'm taking care of a space that I own.
yeah,
But living alone is not as scary as what people think of it to be because I know some people would want to have roommates and they're like, oh, I don't want to be alone and just be silent and all those things and not have friends within vicinity, right? But
yeah,
I'm an introvert. I gather all my energy by hanging out by myself.
yeah.
And
100%. I feel you.
you're an introvert.
Yes.
Damn.
You didn't know that?
No. I feel like you're extroverted because you know how to
No, I'm
talk.
an introvert with extroverted tendencies.
Okay, that's literally us then.
Yeah.
That's literally us.
Like I said, not getting into my deep rooted maternal issues here.
Not
But
that.
because I was a kid, like so I definitely like my alone time because I just need time for me, especially to like decompress and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But something that I learned about myself, and anybody can go through this good old journey whether they live by themselves or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a desire to be liked. I just do. Don't
I
know
get.
why,
I
but
know.
I
I
do.
relate. I relate. I relate. That
Um,
used to be such a
and
major thing for
so
me.
unfortunately, like I need to manage it, and I have to. It's all in a healthy way, but I don't want to say I have a tendency to seek validation from others in
Yeah.
small and large ways.
Yeah.
So that can get very exhausting because sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it. So being able to get away and go back to my own space is healthier for me, so I can decompress.
Yeah. I agree. I'm kind of the same way, but after living here by myself in this state of fun, um, I used to be a people pleaser, but now I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah,
there's small tendencies, of course, because it's been a natural thing for me to have before in the past.
yeah,
But now it's just so fucking lowered down and like that. It's amazing. But in terms of like, yeah, living alone in your apartment is fine, but just I'm very happy, grateful, fortunate enough to just have this experience of living alone in my own state, in my own town, and just having the chance to grow by myself. and figure myself out with having
Yeah.
this experience of just moving out, living alone, and much more. And what would you say are some of the key things that you really learned on just having your own journey and just being self-reliant, self-stuff, whatever, and such? Because I have a lot that I learned, but you can go first.
Um, you go first. I'm interested to hear what you have to say.
I became a lot chiller, Dallas. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
seen it. I've
Yeah.
been a lot more chill. I I'm starting to appreciate friendships and relationships a lot more rather than the materialistic things. Um I am very uncomfortable with, once again, not having a corporate job, and I hustled for that shit and putting that
Yeah.
future for myself. But actually, I enjoy what I'm having right now, where I'm working as a barista and making genuine and fun and new relationships at
Yeah.
the place I'm at. I feel like I'm actually making the most out of my experience living here in this little area, and it I taught myself being here, like I had to face my inner demons here living alone.
Yeah.
Because you're living alone, you're just like, oh my god, these thoughts, and there's some bad healthy habits of how people did it, of drinking, getting high, distracting yourself as much as you can. But I faced that shit fucking straight on, and I fortunately enough, living here, I was able to say, like, hey, you being self-deprecating and having low self-esteem, and you being a hustler and all these things are not good for you, Ria, if you haven't fucking realized. And you're such a person that has fucking such a need for validation from other people. Like, you need to work on it. Did you not know that that is bad? That's not good. I am grateful that I took the time to just talk to myself, have video journals and video diaries or whatever of me talking to myself to say, hey, let's unlearn this, and this is not healthy and this is not good for you. Let's learn how to be more happy, more loving for yourself, more caring for yourself. Let's understand that this has happened in the past, but this doesn't make it true presently. Like, those are the things that I really learned living here
Yeah.
in here living alone. And I'm honestly impressed with how I can think like that. I don't know how I can think like that, but I give myself a pat on the fucking back for that. And
I give you many pats on the back as well.
thank you. I appreciate you, Dallas. And now I'm happy with making these decisions, and now I'm becoming more confident. I'm becoming more independent, but still able to appreciate my relationships and friendships. I am becoming the person who I genuinely want to be without having to care about the people's judgments, um, whether it be friends or whether it be family, and much more. And I now learned and understand that not everything is going to happen in an instant, and this and that, this and that. Everything takes time. It's a journey, and life is about appreciating the ups and downs and emotional aspect of life, and the arts and the nature and the beauty of life, rather than
Yeah.
striving for that AKA American dream of materialism, class, money,
Yeah.
much more. But that's what I've learned. It's not even been a year, but literally 8 months of being here, I think. So, yeah.
That's good. That's a lot. And like I said, I'm not gonna. This is a whole completely different topic, maybe for a different podcast. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I'm very big into philosophy, and one of my favorite philosophers, Carl Jung. He has this entire theory on like individuation, on what it means to actually become an individual, to become a complete person,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of it is things like that. Finding out things about yourself that you may not want to find out, learning how
Yeah.
to face yourself and stuff like that. So, like I
Yeah.
said, it's a completely different topic that we'll maybe do if I'm on here again.
Yeah.
But as far as what I've learned from how, like, from what I've done, 100%. I did not realize how much I'd miss my friends.
Yeah, God, go.
Yeah, like all the
Yeah.
boys, I miss them a bunch. Every time I'm away, I can't just do simple. I can't go out to lunch anymore. Just hang out after work or anything like that. But on the other side, on the flip side of that, because I left Jersey, I got to stay and see all of these awesome places and have all these awesome experiences that I would have never done if I would have just stayed in my little bubble with the boys. And now I'm actually running into the problem of, like I said, I might move to Texas because it makes more financial sense to do so depending on how my job hunt goes.
Mhm.
But now I'm waging a little war on myself on whether or not I should move back to Jersey. But then I've got to remember, I can't pick where I live based off of where my friends are,
Yeah.
because what if they
Preach.
move? And on
Preach.
top of that, like, what if I'm not gonna move myself to a more disadvantageous position simply so I could see my boys. I love them to death, especially my brothers. But I would be messing up me and the people that I care about. I'd be messing with their lives if I just moved to a place off of like, oh, I want to be able to see my boys.
And
Um.
the thing is that.
So
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, 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 yeah. So I mean, just not to repeat myself ad nauseum, but yeah, I mean, just going back to joining the army, that was another thing. Because of that, I got to go experience things that I might have never normally experienced, and I got out of Jersey, and I got to go see so many things and meet so many people, all in a bunch of different states all over the world, or I guess all over America.
Mm-hmm.
um, and that was dope. That was really cool to experience. So
And
that's the battle I'm fighting right now.
I agree because come on, I made a lot of friends in Jersey. I made a lot of good memories, like even with you and the boys. I love the boys, by the way. Love the boys.
They're
Just
good.
like
They're good boys.
they
The
are good.
best boys, even.
They are the good boys. They are good boys. Yeah, honestly, but by the way, like during that time when I was hanging out with your friend group a lot, y'all were looking out for me, and I didn't realize that. I wish I realized that back at 2018, but I know you guys are still looking out for me, which is like the sweetest thing. Even though I'm never there,
We try to.
you guys are such sweethearts. It makes my heart warm. Really, really, it does. But I know what you mean. Um, I miss my friends at Jersey. I really do. And I just like, man, I want to fucking hang out with them. But first off, the boys, dude, the friends who are supportive for you to develop the way you want to be, and they still care about you and they still talk to you, those are genuine homies. You know?
Yeah.
Those are genuine homies. And with people who are just very kind of negative about you doing what you need to do, those are not homies.
Yeah.
Those are
No,
not
especially
homies.
there. As you can imagine, it was definitely a huge surprise to all of my boys when I told them, like, hey, I'm joining the fucking army. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the people who obviously they were extremely concerned and they were confused, but then I sat down, I talked to them, I explained myself, and they supported me. The ones who supported me, and then the ones who didn't, we had to talk later about that. So it's stuff like this really, when you make risks like that, or you just make big moves, life altering decisions, uh you get to learn a lot about not only yourself but about the people who are supposed to be close to you.
Exactly. Um, and at the end of the day, I'm happy for you and for me that we take prioritization of ourselves as well, along with the
Yeah.
priority of our friends. Like they are part of that decision making. They're part of whatever, but you also put yourself first. So, of course, we recognize that friends are always going to be important to us. They hold a high standard. But I'm glad that you also made the decision that, hey, I also am a priority as well. And that
Yeah.
my experiences, my this and that are just as important as my friends or any other aspect in your life. So, and once again, you do learn about who are actually your friends and who are actually not your friends.
Yeah.
So,
Have a
and
very it's always better to have a small uh tight friend group than it is to just have like a gigantic friend group but nobody really cares enough to be there for the hard stuff.
no, exactly. For me, I genuinely enjoy talking to a lot of people. Like, I love having a good big amount of friends, but I do have that set of friends, like only two or three of them that I just rely on and talk to and can really talk to, and
Yeah.
they appreciate me for my flaws or my strengths. But this is gonna be another podcast topic because I am gonna have a topic about friends, and my experience of how friendships were like in the past and now how they are in the present. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe I'll invite you back again. We'll see.
Yeah,
Good
and
or
even
bad.
if I can't actually do it or like speak on it or whatever, I'll still be in the chat throwing some memes here and there.
Of course, and I appreciate your support. And
Of course.
fun fact, guys, we barely talk as friends, but when we catch up and we have the time to make the time or whatever to hang out, we fucking talk.
Yeah, seriously.
We fucking
I warned her
talk.
before the podcast started like I you have to stop me. I will just keep going.
And I was like, no, I need this. This is good. I love our conversations. I also think our conversations are just as, like, it's fun to listen to, I would think. So, it's fine. But, let me see. But that's what I learned living here. By the way, I live in Ohio. That's one of the questions. Why did I pick Ohio? Or,
Yeah.
did you pick your state?
No, the army does that for you. You don't.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
You have
don't,
no say.
Yeah, you don't have much of a say.
So, which
But
states
like I
did
said,
you
I,
go
I got
to?
to go to. So I went to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at now. But so the army has what's called a TDY. Don't ask me what it stands for because I don't know.
TDY.
But it basically means, hey, you're gonna go here for like either a school or a training opportunity, or there might be a mission that requires you to go out of state. So I've been TDY to a bunch of different places. I've been to Arizona a couple times. I
Mm-hmm.
went to Virginia, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado. So I've been to a couple places.
Did you have time to like explore those states?
Yeah. When the mission was done or we were not like done with the duty day, I would like walk around, try to go into town.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm just trying to.
There's a
find-
small town in Arizona that's pretty lit.
small town in
Great place.
Arizona. We love
Yeah.
Arizona. I also there's another podcast topic too that's gonna talk about traveling, but I've been to what I don't know. I enjoyed the fuck out of Alabama. When I went to Alabama, I went to Birmingham, Alabama. By the way,
So Giovanni I think he's actually from Birmingham.
I know Alabama is ill, but when I was there and the people I hung out with, I was lit. I was having the grandest time. Oh my!
Tank was South Alabama.
No, I'm telling you, when I went to Alabama, I was scared to be a hate crime. I was scared.
You got crunk.
I got crunk, but I was scared to be a hate crime on the news.
Yeah, dead ass. I bet. I fucking bet.
What else? I had other questions about living alone and moving out and taking risks, but I think that was like the general information that I just wanted to convey. Is there anything else you wanted to share about said topics? Advice.
Yeah, just like I said, just don't be afraid to do what you want to do, even if your friends might disagree. If they're really good friends, they'll warn you about the risks, but they'll also help you out.
And support you in any way.
Yeah, just know yourself, know your limits, know how far out of your circle you need to step to grow as a person. And don't be afraid to grow as a person. A lot of people aren't people, is what I like to say. A lot of people don't like to actually look at themselves objectively, and that's not great. So step outside of your circle, do things that are financially ambitious but also responsible. Brush your teeth, floss, all that good stuff.
And what would you say to younger Dallas when he had urges to move out and all those things?
Uh, that's a great question because
Mm-hmm.
my advice, like I said, my advice, I would love for my advice to be don't do it, stay home because rent sucks. But I was miserable. So I guess my advice would have to be, um,
Not even.
don't stagnate. I let myself stagnate too quickly. So
No,
I guess my advice would have to be like pursue new things. Make sure I have hobbies that I love that I want to do. Make sure that I budget a lot better. I'm like terrible at money, so budgeting is a huge one.
and also not even advice. Like, what kind of assurance can you give young Dallas now that you're older Dallas that's living your current living situation, which we'll talk about in a second? But what would you say to that question?
My biggest assurance to young me would be as much as I didn't like living at my parents, um I can always go back. Like it's a really good feeling to know that I'll never have to worry about like potentially being homeless or anything like that because I can go back home if I really want to. And I guess another thing I would say to myself is I'm a lot more competent than I try to give myself credit for. So, like, I'll make it work. I always just make it work.
Yeah, I agree too. What I would say to younger me is that, hey, you became more confident. Be happy with what you have. You work really hard. Actually, take some time to take breaks because you don't need validation from your sister to feel like you're an important person. So make yourself feel
Yeah.
like an important person. That's what I would say to younger me. But hey, younger me, when you get older, you're gonna make it. You're gonna be fine. Don't worry. And life is already good when you're older. So that's what younger me would tell me. And a lot more things because I would have a full on
A whole sit
hours.
down conversation.
I would have a sit down conversation with younger me because I would really say that I'm kind of the 180, uh, like 180 personality, 180 vibes. Just I'm the complete opposite of younger me now. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
crazy.
Keep your money stacked, keep your titties fat, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Keep your ass thick.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. So, what is your current living situation right now?
Right now I have some roommates. The army pays for housing, so that's pretty lit. So I'm trying to get that going
Mm-hmm.
pretty soon. I'm actually gonna move in with Tank pretty soon.
Ah!
We're gonna get a place together. We're gonna vibe. I guess that's one of the shittiest things about the army, though. If you ever do join, if anybody ever does join, um, I'm gonna have to leave my boy at some point. It's fucking sad because I became, like I said, he's one of my best friends now, and his contract is longer than mine, so I get out first. So I'm gonna have to, we're gonna have to be good old long distance friends, and that shit kind of sucks. I'm gonna go from seeing him every day to not just so abruptly. So it's great that you get to make so many connections because of the opportunities that you have, but they're ultimately temporary, especially if you stay in.
Oh yeah, by the way, one of my viewers or friends, Kiords, he's also part of the
Hmm.
military.
Wow, what branch? Do you know what branch he's in?
I think he's in Navy.
He's
Are
a,
you in Navy, Kiords?
he's a seaman.
Ah! He is a Steven!
Hey,
Hey! He's a seaman! He's a
hell yeah!
corpsman!
He's a corpsman. That's
Corpsman!
dope. Corpsmen are dope. Corpsmen helped me out. Like, just a quick, super quick story. I went to airborne school because me and Tank, we jump out of airplanes, and there was a problem. Wasn't my fault. But I ended up hurting my knee on one of the jumps, and there was a bunch of naval corpsmen in my class with me, and dude, they were awesome. They fucking helped me out. They all walked around in only their underwear, so that was kind of weird, but like whatever, they were living their best life. And dude, they sat me down in a chair and they fucking like massaged my leg, try to figure out what was going on, gave me a bunch of fucking drugs that like they were not supposed to have in the barracks. They gave me like Cliff Bars and like Powerades and stuff, and they were like, "Don't worry, dude, you'll make it." So I got a lot of love for fucking naval corpsmen.
We love Corpsmen. We love the Corpsmen. We love you, Kjords. Unfortunately, he's not a seaman.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
He can go be a I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Kjords, but I'm pretty like does any of your corpsman stuff translate over into like being a nurse, like civilian life? Because I know that was one of the things. I was almost so I fold sky napkins because I'm a rigger. So I fold parachutes, but I was almost a medic because I wanted to be a nurse because nurses make a lot of money. EMT, yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, EMT stuff is dope. You could do that.
So are you gonna be moving in with your girlfriend? When is that plan?
Eventually, it's gonna be soon.
Soon.
Yeah, I try to. It's freaking. I guess take good old Vin Diesel's advice. You live your life quarter mile at a time.
Oh Ew.
So you fucking no. I gotta yeah. I try to figure. I'm a very passive individual by nature. It's a good thing. It's a bad thing. I've managed it. But I tend to not make any concrete plans. If I can avoid it, just because you never know what can happen. So I try to plan for things. So all I can really say is like in the future. I don't know when, because that's a lot of fucking money, but at some point.
Keyword says I'm gonna do paramedic when I get out.
Paramedic? Oh hell yeah, dog. That's what's up. And he's getting out, so congratulations, everybody! Everybody, clap your hands for fucking Kjords getting out, cause holy shit.
Yeah, 3 months, 3 more months, Kjords.
It's gonna be a long ass 3 fucking months. I'll tell you what.
And then you're gonna grind on Valorant to get to Radiant. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Hell yeah.
Woo! I mean, future plans for me. I really love Ohio. I fucking love Ohio. Fucking love Ohio. I plan to live here 2 to 3 more years, and then I don't want to get stagnant, like you mentioned. I have a slight fear that it might be the case of stagnant, but I'm gonna just enjoy as much as I can and milk it out, and then move out.
Yeah.
And I do make plans, and I do want to make plans to move out of the country.
Yeah, I want to live in. I'm trying to live in Germany. I really don't like just America, like living here. Work policies, the way that the entire country is just structured. I'm not a fan. So I really want to go to Germany. An actual first world country. Heyo. Controversial takes on the RIA podcast.
Controversial takes. I want to move to either Montreal or Paris, because je parle français à peu.
I hate the French.
Not that.
Such a mean people.
I heard they are mean. I'm a mean person.
They're very
too.
mean. And honestly, it's like they're mean to. It's weird. They're like
mean to Americans. They're mean to Americans. I know.
Not even mean to America. They're mean to like other French. Like if you're not from whatever part of France that they're from or whatever the hell, they don't like you either. It's like they've got this whole thing.
Bitch, we're from the East Coast. We can manage. It's fine. New Yorkers are also New Yorkers are just as gross. Okay.
Yeah, you're not
yeah, come on. We can.
It's literally a borough war all the time.
Yeah, and it's fine. Like I'll just figure out the French with the arguments. I'll figure out the French. Like I can speak French, only elementary. If I live there for a year or two, I'm gonna be learning a second language.
You'll get it. You're gonna be lit.
But let me see. There was some questions in the past. Okay, so the question was, were you ready financially or was it a risk? And then why Ohio? And then someone says, how is living alone? I feel like I hate being alone, like I always need to be with someone else or I get hella nervous. How does one... Oh, okay, that's good. So, was I financially... No, I was about to run dirt poor. I should have moved when I had my savings in check because I spent hella money back at Jersey when I graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I spent money. I spent money on hella food. The Korean
Food's
barbecue,
delicious.
Korean barbecue, bro. It gets to you.
Yeah, it just drains you.
It drains your fucking bank.
It drains your wallet,
Yeah.
bro, your pockets.
But it's so good. I'm definitely gonna go back to Korean barbecue when I go back to Jersey.
We gotta go.
Yeah, we I do make I'm making plans to go back to North Carolina, but we'll see. No
Word,
promises
let me
though.
know.
We'll keep you updated. And why Ohio? Because of a job. I didn't want to just go to Ohio because I knew that it was a good state. It was because of a job, but then I grown to love it as much as possible. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the end of the podcast.
That second question, just to answer somebody, what was it again? It was.
Were you ready financially, or was it a risk?
No. The second one. Somebody said something about living alone, I think.
Yeah, how is living alone? I feel like I hate being alone. Like I always need to be with someone, or else I'll get hella nervous.
So. That's one of those good old questions where you really learn about yourself as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why do you need to be with other people? Why do you need to live with somebody to feel safe or whatever? Not that it's a bad thing, just those are the important questions that you need to learn so you can figure out more about yourself. And what I will say is, if you don't like being alone, you don't have to just go out. You know, just because you live alone doesn't mean you are alone. You have friends, have them come over, have fucking, you know, make relationships, have people come over, have sleepovers or whatever. Nobody's too old to have a sleepover with their boys or their girls.
There's a difference with. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't like interrupting.
No, you're good. No, go for it.
There's a difference between alone and being lonely. And
yeah.
I can assure you that you're not gonna be lonely because you have your friends, unless, because for me, I was lonely. I was trying to be that lone wolf, Rhea, and I found myself being lonely in the past because I didn't know how to cultivate my friendships. But now I do. So, yeah, there's a difference between with living alone and being lonely. So, yeah. Agreed with Dallas, though.
Yeah, no, that's really that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty much the end of the podcast. Next podcast, the topic is vague right now, but we'll confirm it on Discord. We'll confirm the information as soon as possible. I've been trying to work out my schedule with this shit. But yeah, thank you so much for talking to me, Dallas. It was nice to catch up.
Of course.
And I'll definitely consider you for other topics that I have.
Please do. I am always available.
Yeah, I will definitely keep you updated. And cut. And that is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much, Dallas, for coming through.
Shameless plug, if you guys like listening to my stupid ass voice, I'm going to start streaming, and I have a YouTube channel. It's all Knighted Skeleton, so...
Yes, yeah. I will give links. I'll put in the Discord. And my shameless plug is like follow my Instagram, go on my Discord, get it as involved as much as possible. I put all my social media platforms on the link tree below. Now I'm starting to open up my TikTok. Now we're starting to post on YouTube. We're trying to get leverage here. We're trying to get more exposure here. So
Deadass.
Yeah. I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you have a good night, Dallas. And I'm gonna go eat.
I will, thank you.
I'm gonna eat food because I'm fucking hungry. So, and that's on that. But good night, guys. Right. I'll see you later.
Bye, Bia's fan base.
I'm gonna go raid someone, but I'll see you later, Dallas. Thank you again.
No problemo. Later.
Bye. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed Dallas's story. I really wanted him to come to a podcast because I think his story of just moving out, going to the army, making these decisions for himself was like something that I can resonate, understand, and admire from him. And he's a good homie. So I'm gonna be ending podcast. I'm ending stream. We're gonna go raid one of our. Let's see who's online. We're gonna go raid someone, and we're just gonna say hi to them, and we're gonna call it a night. But thank you so much, guys, for coming through for the podcast. Felt a little, but you know what? We're gonna make do. But we're gonna continue doing this every Tuesday, and just look out for other streams on the get-go. So yeah, let's go say hi to Jalen Tag. Okay, well, we're gonna go say hi to him. It's been a minute. Again. It's been a minute since I've seen him. I like his art. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh my god. We're gonna go say hi to Jay. So, oh god, he has his music on. Okay. We're gonna go say hi to Jay. I'll see you guys later. Let's say hi to Jay. But have a good night, guys. Thank you for stopping by, and see you next week. Peace!